want you to hit me as hard as you can.
Lance Velchek here, for Arrow in the Head's The Fucking Black Sheep, where we take a look at the opposing opinion of the genre's most divisive films. It has been 8 years since we last had a Predator film, the second longest wait. Alien vs. Predator came out 14 years after Predator 2. Jesus, I am getting old. With original star Shane Black coming back for directing and writing duties, with an impressive cast, I am cautiously optimistic that The Predator will be a welcomed entry in this great, yet uneven franchise. Don't let me down. Which brings me to this month's Black Sheep entry. One of the most underrated sequels in action sci-fi history. An entry distinct enough to hold its own while respecting the brilliance of what came before. A film that has a damn fine dose of blood, sweat, and testosterone, while keeping the macho masculinity set by the 1987 original. Wait. Hey! Are these films considered offensive now?
Sí, podría ser considerado.
F it. I'll do it anyway. Hold on to your butts as we dive into one of my favorite films, Predator 2. In 1987, John McTiernan and Arnold Schwarzenegger helped put out one of the best sci-fi action films ever made. With great characters, a unique monster, and a genre-bending story. Predator became an instant classic, a movie of its time, yet forever timeless. And to follow up something universally loved was always going to be a tough undertaking. Predator 2 had the red flags of a straight-to-VHS follow-up. No original director, Schwarzenegger hating the script and the story's direction. What could go right? And yet I'm sitting here dumbfounded on how this isn't universally loved. But I can tell you this, Predator 2 is uniquely its own. And it didn't bastardize the source material like AVP and Predator. We start off in the near future of 1997, Los Angeles. Set 10 years after the original, the Earth is warming up at an alarming rate, and LA is in the middle of a brutal heat wave. Since the Predator loves heat and conflict,
drawn by heat and conflict,
this is the perfect hunting ground. Now, Earth isn't at a point where we need public sex enthusiast Connor McLeod.
They'll remember this tape for 1,000 years.
But it ain't looking good. We are dropped into an all-out war zone in downtown Los Angeles in broad daylight. The Colombians and the Jamaicans are in a brutal turf war, and the police are barely holding on. The Colombians, led by Scorpio, gets his drive from the power of cocaine. Stay strong, El Scorpio. Stay strong. And the Jamaicans, for some reason, practice the art of voodoo.
But I have to take your soul.
Both two opposing forces facing off in the land of Hollywood. This, my friends, this is called world building, and something Predator 2 does exceptionally well. In comes hero and Schwarzenegger replacement, Mike Harrigan, played by Murtaugh himself. Hey, that's the captain.
Captain!
Time was when this sort of thing would send me right over the fucking falls. I swear to God, I'm getting old.
In classic 80s fashion, 1990 is basically late 80s, let's not kid ourselves. Harrigan drives his big-ass car directly into enemy fire to save his fellow officers. This act of heroics catches the Predator's attention, unwittingly becomes its main prey. We follow our group in their pursuit of the truth. Too many dead bodies, ritualistic killings, and Gary Busey constantly taking charge.
Now maybe you can hear this. The next time you cross me, you're gonna turn up missing.
A common complaint is Harrigan and his crew are not as tough and intense as the ragtag group of Marines from the first. And that's where everyone seems to miss the point. The original was an extraterrestrial fighting his match, and there was no reason to redo that to a lesser degree. There's this misconception that we need the original protagonist to make a sequel work.
Talk to the hand.
Not always. The Marines were macho, but let's not count out our high-strung LA Police Department. Look at that. No relation, Special Agent Johnson. Mike Harrigan has a chip on his shoulder so goddamn big, you can see it from space. He is so disobedient, the police force has his write-up dossier narrated.
A history of excessive physical force throughout his 18 years.
Now this John Wayne attitude, flagrant disregard for policy is gonna end now.
That's why he can hold his own against our space traveler. He's not muscled up, but he's scrappy as hell and has the balls to prove it. This was Glover's chance to go against his most famous character type. Harrigan is hot-headed, command-breaking, yet a damn fine cop. Harrigan is Riggs.
Riggs.
Make your own rules, Harrigan. You sweet, sweet man. Mike's crew consists of calm and cool detective Danny, the Venezuelan badass, Leona Cantrell, and to keep myth-busting about this sequel having less badass characters, this is our female cop.
Try that cowboy shit with me, fucking you can kiss this. Goodbye.
And her new partner, Jerry Lambert, with a style I can respect, played by the legend that is Bill Paxton. After an amazing scene in which the Predator kills a bunch of Jamaican goons, Mike and his team start to piece together these ritualistic murders and notice their similarities. This is a big shift story-wise and something that makes this film stand out. Where the first was part war and part survival movie, part 2 is more of a detective story. And it was the perfect choice, because it's about Mike, Danny, Leona, and Jerry cracking the case. The Predator is our John Doe, and it's about trying to catch it before it's too late. By the time we reach our story's end, Harrigan is the only one left. He's captured by Peter Keyes and his team, and then we get some helpful exposition.
For what he can give us. A new era of scientific technology.
They want answers. Help with technology, which is a meaningful and thought-provoking idea. An idea against the grain. They don't want it for military purposes, or to be the ultimate weapon. And speaking of Gary Busey, he is in top form.
A fucking alien.
And plays Peter Keyes, tough, crazy, and oddly professional.
Yeah. Captain Pilgrim, Peter Keyes.
We also get this gem of a line.
Lions, the tigers, the bears. Oh my.
I don't know why he said it like that, but I wouldn't have it any other way. Harrigan and Keyes have such a tumultuous relationship. It's one of the highlights of the film.
Listen, shit in. I don't give a fuck who you really are, what you want with this asshole. Because now it's personal, and he's a dead man.
I fucking love all these characters. Even you, Jane Cobb. Even you. This was the last great Predator film. Why after so many years can no one seem to do it right? Predator 2 expanded on our favorite space traveler just the right amount. They put it in a different location with a different story, filled with characters you can root for. It's the right amount of mythology without overindulging. But to show anything more than that would dilute what makes this space hunter so threatening. Keep the monster a monster. That should be rule number 1.
You can't see the eyes of the demon until him come calling.
And for God's sake, please stop teaming up with the humans. You are a giant, super intelligent space hunter. This plot point is ridiculous. It's like teaming up with a pet to stop a burglar. Someone's in the house. Come on, hey, take this. There's an intruder. We must work together. You see, it's stupid and makes little sense. Oh, and let's be clear. Giving Mike the antique gun was out of respect, but nothing more. In fact, it was more reluctant than a grand gesture. It didn't indicate a partnership between hunter and man. Look at how he tossed it. He's thinking, motherfucker. If you think that's anything but a bitter toss, lob the remote to your girlfriend in the same manner. See how well that goes. Predator 2 should be praised as one of the few sequels that's as good as the original. Danny Glover ended up being a surprisingly good action hero. Stephen Hopkins directed in an exciting and distinct manner, giving this film his own touch. And the city setting was the perfect switch to keep things fresh. So now, I'd like to pour a whiskey to a man whose films inspired me and shaped my love of the genre, and who was lucky enough to be killed by a predator, an alien, and a Terminator. Here's to you, Bill. Here's to you.